Let's go to Big Shaq, yo.
All right.
Let's go to the Diesel.
That
That boy was on that boat with that young thing. Cool ain't like that.
You want to go to his ex-wife first?
No, let's go to ex-wife. Let's go to
the ex-wife first?
Yeah.
Hold on.
Let's go to ex-wife.
All right, hold on. Let me share the screen and all right. So Shawnee O'Neal, which is Shaquille O'Neal's ex-wife and the mother of his, I think they had 4 kids together.
Yeah.
And she is moved on. She's remarried, but she's coming out with a book.
Yeah.
And in one of the passages inside the book, she says that she feels like she was never really in love with Shaq. And she may have been in love with the idea of being in a relationship and being married to the father of her children versus being in love with him.
Okay.
All right, let's jump into it. Hold on.
Looking back, I don't know that I was ever really in love with the man. Made me want to cry.
Yeah.
But I was in love with the idea of being married to the man I had a family
Hold on, let me start it all over.
Looking back, I don't know that I was ever really in love with the man. Made me want to cry.
Yeah.
But I was in love with the idea of being married to the man I had a family with. I was in love with the idea of building a life together.
Absolutely. I was in love with the partnership that I never got. I didn't experience partnership in a relationship until now. But, you know, Shaquille and I have a great relationship now.
Beautiful children.
And beautiful children. I would not change any part of my story, not one part of my story, no matter how depressed, how sad, how much at the bottom I felt. I would not change one part of it because I feel like my reward is now. Like I am, you know.
Looking back, I don't know.
All right. So the actual clip ended with Shaq's response of what she said. And he said, like, I wouldn't have been in love with me either. And he wished her the best. So what do you think about the clip?
Clip was interesting. The clip was we're telling young first of all, the first thing I took from the clip is Shaq definitely got a type. Like Shawnee looks like every other female that he kind of resembles Hoops a little bit. Kind of like he liked the
he likes light skin,
light, smaller, like petite kind of frame, like nice.
Yeah,
you know what I mean, joints. Good for him. Nice him on that time. What's the name? Yeah, because young, he was a young dude with money, and she was his first wife, and she has the story of most first wives of dudes that get married young. You know, with means. I think she stuck around for the money and for the lifestyle. And I think he never got his act together enough for her to kind of like justify staying, and he kind of gave her out. You know, he was a playboy. We've read of his exploits in the. I never read it, but I seen accounts of it in the Corinne Steffen book. And that he's paying for women's rent here, and he's paying for this stuff there. So he was he was outside while he was inside. So he gave her out. You know, maybe she had to cope. Maybe that was a coping mechanism that she had to just be like, yo, okay, like, yo, I'm doing this for my family or whatever. But him
But you're
validating her and kind of saying that, yo, I wouldn't love me neither. That's, I think, him acknowledging his growth and everything, and where he was and where he's now. And
yeah, growth, all that other shit like
Right,
that.
right,
Yeah,
right,
okay,
right.
cool.
Okay.
Right?
all right, you asked.
Hey, bro. He could have been a terrible husband,
Yeah.
right? But you should be in love with that person before you get married.
Of course.
And for her to say she was never in love with him,
Mm.
all right. Now I'm probably gonna feel bad for her about his exploits and him whatever. Like, you never loved the nigga. You know what I mean?
A funny, I'm a respond for that.
Alright.
I'm respond to that for being the resident divorce cat on the podcast. When you're separated longer than you were together, you start forgetting about that relationship, and you don't even think about it anymore.
Mhm.
It's out of sight, out of mind.
Okay.
And the first thing to go is the feelings. You don't remember what you used to feel for this person, you know?
Mm.
So I can kind of see where she's coming from, where she could say that. If she could only remember the bad things and can't remember all the good things, then that's where she's at now, you know? So I could see where she's coming from, you know? At first, I kind of had a visceral reaction to it. It was like, oh, she was just using them, you know, and all this. But once I heard his reaction to it, I was like, oh, okay, Playboy, you know what she was doing.
So let me ask this question.
Go.
If you're truly in love with somebody, would you get a divorce?
Yeah. You're gonna love yourself first. You're never gonna love somebody. You shouldn't love somebody else more than you love yourself. If you love somebody but someone doing you dirty, then you gotta go.
I don't know. I don't think so. I think a lot of
lucky
people
to never have to be there.
I think a lot of people that stay in situations, I think they're in love with that person. They're in love with
People
that person.
who stay in situations that they're not happy in.
I think them being in love is the happiness, right? If infidelity happens or something happens, they stay because they are in love with that person.
But what if it's constant infidelity? To the point where it's disrespect.
I don't know.
What trumps that? Like, is disrespect a stronger emotion than love?
I don't know. I don't think
a stronger emotion than love?
I don't think,
like, it's different emotions at play.
well,
in
there
a marriage.
there could be one person.
Respect.
There could be one person that might be in love and other person's not in love. But I think two people that are in love, I don't think there's constant disrespect.
We're talking about a healthy marriage. We're not talking about a man who's going around paying rent for different women all over, cheating, and Kobe coming out. Like, that was the final. Remember what was the final story when Kobe kicked his back in? Like, Shaq was blazing too. Like, the certain thing was like, okay, I know, but now it's on Front Street now, you know what I mean? And now a book is coming out and all that. So there's certain things like, I can take the infidelity, you know what I mean? But once people start knowing and I'm the butt of everybody's joke, now it's like, I can't do this no more.
And maybe Shaq
never could
feels,
have came out.
No, maybe Shaq feels the same way.
Right.
Maybe that's why he can deal with her saying that.
Yeah.
Because he probably like, I might have not been in love with her either.
That part. Yeah.
It was for the moment. I thought she was a good chick to have kids with, and I got some kids out of the situation, and it didn't pan out to some forever shit. But it was a moment. But I think that the two don't really go together.
What's that?
I think if you do certain things that are disrespectful, you probably, there's probably not as much love as you think it is in the relationship.
Strong statement. Because people mess up, so you're not giving any grace. So someone.
I didn't say that. I mean, like when you were saying like if there's constant disrespect.
Yeah, constant disrespect. Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm talking about
like-
like one slip up. Like people can mess up.
No,
too, right?
people can mess up.
All right,
People can
okay.
have moments of weakness.
All right.
They could, but I'm not saying like, yeah, ones, yeah, you get to 3.
Yeah.
All right, you becoming habitual.
Here
You
comes
get to
the
5 or
twos,
10, like, yo,
the
you
fours.
straight them disrespectful.
Mhm.
But you could violate. You don't want to violate people that you really, really love. And then if you constantly violate people that you love, I'm gonna question the way you love people, or if you really truly